Yes. I just don't feel like that was our head coach. I really don't. Because he dealt with him. He knew what kind of operation he had. He knew he wasn't psychologically when he wasn't ready.
Are you
And he
suggesting
had,
that? Wait a minute. Are you suggesting him being a former cancer patient has something to affect
no,
his
I'm
decision?
not talking about, no, I'm not,
Okay.
I'm talking about Chase.
Ah.
Because Chase had, uh, parts from his other leg the doctors had to take and put it on his good the leg that was hurt to get him, and that's why it took him so long, you know, to get back out there. And Coach Rivera, worked with him, and he wanted him to be psychologically, you know, ready to
But
be out
see, he
there.
had ample time, though. He had ample time, work, and they
Yeah,
made sure they worked him back into the
and
process. So they let him out of the offense. I mean, defense. They let of he was there for classes and stuff and meetings, but they would not let him on the field because of his mental state. So
yeah,
that part I understand. The
yeah,
part that when I'm saying that we all agree on last week was why would you trade these two knowing that they are the prime development of this defense. Now, not to say they're the sole providers of the sacks and interceptions. No, get me wrong, but they contribute a lot to the edge and got the sacks that we needed. Now, as for the interior, we're going to get to Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen in a minute. We're trying to get to the point of there's no pass rush against the Patriots. The Patriots threw. Let me get the numbers. I want everybody to understand what transpired on on that Sunday. All right. So on that Sunday, let's go with let's go. So there's one stat that I'm going to read to you that stood out a lot. And me knowing that we go against these players, I mean these teams, and these teams look for our weaknesses. And sure enough, this weakness came up as soon as we lost to the Eagles and we lost to the Brown. I mean it's not Brown, excuse me,
the
the
Bears.
Bears. And this really came out, and it was just not shocking, but expected. But it didn't really result into a win for the Patriots. So
We
let's.
should have won both of those games.
Well, we should have won majority of it. Here's
Yeah.
here is the game center stats. Now the game for the Seahawks is going to be on Fox. All right, so I'm gonna go to the. Let's see. Roster, game release. I think it's the game release. So right now I'm looking up the stats. Uh, Crap. Okay.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I said that. Okay, let me see. It doesn't say post game notes, game book. What in the world are they showing
My
me here?
Hokies won today.
Congrats to the Hokies. Well,
Hey,
Maryland basketball team, college basketball took over, but Maryland had a loss against Davidson. Really good team. All right. Let's
that is
see.
good.
Yeah, they lost. This
So
is
Maryland did?
wow. This is actually pretty dope. How they got this here. This is a game book, and this is by far better than what the internet has provided us. Um, so this is more. This is actually the lineups. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, so here's the stats. All right, so it seems like the opponent, the Patriots, actually had more. We gave up 14 yards to Henry. We gave it 20 yards to Schoonsmeister, in the wide receiving passing. Matt Jones passed for 220 yards and had one touchdown. His quarterback rating was 66.5. Now, he's not Tom Brady by any means.
Nobody's Tom Brady.
Right, exactly. Well, we got Lou here from co-host for the Enhanced Sports Show. He is actually Louis Tenor.
Hello.
How you doing, Lou? Welcome.
All right. Look, there's never gonna, I don't think there's gonna be another Tom Brady in the near future. I mean, that's gotta be kind of tough to duplicate.
That's true, but they tried to make him into Tom Brady. And to give to credit to when credit's due, Matt Jones did have us on the ropes in a 2-minute drill, which was a really bad thing because if you got into the red zone or took a field goal, he could have tied the game or took, and won it by 2. Luckily, he threw that interception that bounced off the wide receiver's shoulders into the arms of our safety, which is pretty amazing. But what I was looking at is the playoff picture as of right now. And right now we're number 8 in the bubble, but we're moving up if we can win against Seattle. Now Seattle is 5-3. They have recently lost to I think it was to the Browns. I'm not
Well, if they recently lost, they're going to be coming after us.
That is my point. And plus, they got a really good nucleus of offensive weapons, such as Metcalf and Lockett, and the 2 running back tandems. And our interior is a little strong, but our bookends, which they're going to run, is the B gaps. The B gaps are on the edge between the 2 tackles and the guards. We're not strong on that end. Yes, we could hold off a pass rush on our offensive side, but as a defense, we don't have the skilled, Toonhill and KG Henry and Smith Williams are not the typical bookends you would have to block off offensive linemen. Yeah, he might dip his arm a little bit, but they can throw fast. They can get that ball out of their hand in 4 seconds. The one thing about Geno Smith, he doesn't run. He has 2 bad knees. He has 2 bad ankles. He reminds me of Mogus Morgan, and this man is 100% got an arm. So my problem is, are we able to sustain the pass rush? In my honest opinion, no. We don't have a pass rush. And my thing is, you let go of 2 of your best bookends to prove a point that the defense is not reliant on these 2. It's not about them. It's about a team effort trying to sack an opponent that is constantly throwing over 300+ yards on you to get to the red zone. But you let them go to prove a point. Well, your point is proven.
That's another thing, and I did point it out, that Case could read the opponent's offense a lot faster than the others. I mean, he could do it.
Well, not only that, MONTEZ could do the same thing. And the problem is he was strong, even though he got held up a lot of times on that end, he would still make up for it by 4 or 5 sacks in a game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he would readjust and then go and get some sacks on there, crucial sacks to actually turn the momentum of the game. Luckily, those 5 losses that we have, he didn't have the chance to do it because of the fact they kept throwing and running the football. That brings in the play scheme of the coaches. Now that Sam Howell, they're saying Sam Howell is improving, it doesn't translate into wins. Yes, we won against the Patriots to go 4-5. Now the test comes up. Seattle and the Giants. After the Giants, Miami. After Miami, the 49ers. After 49ers, the Panthers.
We're going to play the Dolphins?
Yes, we're going to play the Dolphins after the Giants.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're going to have one heck of a doozy. But the Dolphins are coming to FedEx Field.
That's right.
And that's a problem because we give up actually 115 points at home and
Yeah,
5
why don't
interceptions.
we play good at home? I don't understand.
That's because of this.
Which goes to show you there's no such thing as home field advantage.
Well, that's a good question, everybody. Here's why we don't play good at home. The reason why we don't play good at home is the play selections of Eric Bieniemy and Ron Rivera clashed one time. He wanted to run the football. Bieniemy wanted to throw on this particular down. So what happened was he threw on that down. That down, they had a incomplete, which resulted in a 4th down. So they had a punt. Ron Rivera was displeased with that call. Eric Bieniemy then made up for that call for running the ball the next 2 plays, the next 3 plays, and we got stopped. That game was against the Giants. As you see, there was a conflict on the sidelines on what to do next. Sure enough, only that we were down a touchdown. We waited until the last minute. Poor management. Then we waited until the very second minute to score, but lost in the end with an incomplete to Jahan Dotson. That's one game. The other game, everybody knows, was against the Eagles when we went to Philly. We actually showed up. We actually took it to overtime. Ron Rivera said then and there the team was out of gas. What team?
Well, if you don't put in your,
I already know. That's exactly my point. You have conditioners. You have coaches who are nutritionists. You did not prepare them for this overtime. You got them to where they are playing lights out. And then you tell the news media and the fans they ran out of gas.
I'm going to tell you something. Andy, who is the conditioner, he was the conditioner for the Seahawks.
But see the problem.
Now, is he still with them?
Yeah, he's still there. But the problem is, we're going
to have problems.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I say that Ron Rivera has issues managing the team because he's always gambling with every aspect of the team. Not just calls, not just 4th down, everything. The man he's a gambler by trait. Right? If you look at the game against the Broncos, perfect example. We were not showing up in the first 2 quarters. Same thing with the Arizona Cardinals. We did not show up until the second half where we started to put a drive together. We didn't come back until the second quarter in the Giants game to try to win it. We didn't even
like a
slow motion. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I told everybody in this game. What Bieniemy was listening was to me, because I told him and I told everybody, if you get Antonio Gibson the ball, great things will happen. Sure enough, That's what they did. They gave the ball to Gibson. He got a first down. He got a second down. He actually ran up the middle. He actually ran to the sidelines. He caught the ball. He actually went in the backfield, went up the gut. Look at what happened. They went to the red zone and they punched it in. Then they had him on kickoff returns. So if you use him in a way that is weaponized, he will get attraction, which means they will worry about him more. It was not until Jamison Crowder got a kickoff return, went up the middle. He started to get more and more confident. So you're starting to see more of an understanding of how they use their personnel. Now, I still think we should never have drafted Damian Brown. Damian Brown hasn't done anything. He shouldn't be on the team. He should be on special teams. But they still trying to work him in because, Sam Howell's go-to man. He hasn't done anything, period. So that is another thing. There's just so many factors that I can go on and on about because it makes sense now that they understand how to use their personnel. Now, I was watching Doc Rivers, Doug Williams, Santana Moss, and London Fletcher. Was it London? No, Fred Smoot. And they were doing this. This questionnaire for the fans. And they had a question in the Seattle game: who would you want to punch it in the red zone? And he gave the fan gave one question to each of the four. Santana Moss said that not Santana Moss. Fred Smoot said he wanted Stephen Davis to punch it in.
You wanted to say what?
Stephen Davis. Now, Stephen Davis was the running back when North Turner was here. And Stephen Davis actually ran over 1,000 yards rushing. I understand his answer. Fred Smoot said Clinton Portis. He said Clinton Portis was actually punching in the red zone. I like Clinton Portis. That was a great answer. Doug Williams said he wanted Rigo. Rigo go 50 gut.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's where I have a problem with Doc Rivers' answer. He said he would rather have Rodriguez punching in. Now, don't get me wrong. Rodriguez is a great running back. But you don't give a rookie a 5-yard red zone the ball because he already fumbled 4 times, right? You give it to Antonio Gibson in the red zone. And the reason why, because he's more dynamic, he's more quick on the edges, and he can extend the play.
Well, he's hungry. He is hungry. At the beginning of the season, he actually stood up. He told everybody, I'm going to put out everything, and I'm going to show y'all. He did.
Right.
Antonio did.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why.
He's doing it.
And that's why you give him the rock. Would you say, Lou? Go ahead. Give your thoughts.
Because I was doing Maryland that he's hungry for it.
Yeah, and that's why I want him in the game. Here's where you give Rodriguez the football. You give Rodriguez the football on 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 in the middle of the field, 50-yard line. And the reason why is because he can gain 6+ yards after hitting that 5 yards. That's when you give him the ball because he can set you up for a red zone rather than to punch it in because that's where they're going to sit there and block the mid gate, the C gap to prevent you from running in because he's a north and south runner. He doesn't run east to west. He doesn't run side to sideline. He goes north and south. So if he gets punched back, that means you lose yard and now you have to bring the field goal team out to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. That's how you lose momentum in the game. You put him in you bring him onto the field to see. This is why I like Eric Bieniemy because he's no dummy. He knows there's a situation in football. Well, no, no, stop. He's not a dummy, and this is why, because he sees that us fans are smarter than what most of the NFL sees us, right? So he knows
Yeah.
that
That's how I know it was set up there.
exactly. So he knows that if we look at
I
him,
don't like setups.
Tubbs, who's Tubbs?
I said I don't like setups.
Oh, setups. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, setups are are the opponent's game. You know, the opponents like to run those type of stunts on our defense, so they isolate a player to get the gap open. In this case, we don't run stunts. We run swing routes. So we take a guard and swing him out to hit one DT to push him up, so that way there's a lane open for the running to run through. One thing I don't like when the enemy runs the football, he tries to run it up the gap. B gap. Don't run at the B gap. Use the sidelines. They're going to be positioned in the middle so that you don't get that first down. And that's where I get upset, because he doesn't look. I mean, he's on the sideline.
He that way for.
Right.
Don't go that way. They are freaking. They built a wall.
Yes.
Y'all around.
Yes. So I have a question for the panel. I have one question. One question. I have several questions, but one of the questions I have for this game, this previous game with the Patriots, did y'all see what Sam Howell did when he threw over his shoulder to Pringle, and he caught it for that first down?
Yeah.
There's isn't there an unwritten
I
rule?
saw that before I had to leave.
Yeah. Wasn't there?
I was like, well, we're losing. And then I come home later and I'm like, we won.
Yes, I was shocked too. But my question
I
is,
thought, well, maybe I should leave more often.
so my question is, isn't there an unwritten rule about throwing over, over to the other side of the field? There's a risk of a pick six, correct? Let's go with Steve and end with Lou. Go ahead, Steve.
You know what? He remind me of Mahomes when he did that. Sometimes you have to do passes
like
and stuff that you have to do to catch the ball or to win. Mahomes has a thing that he would do a shuttle pass or a sidearm.
Yeah.
And that what our quarterback had to do in order to make up a completion. And any, like you say, he did any. He leads. Actually, he's in fifth place. In passing.
Well, hold on, Steve. Hold on. Let's hold that thought. I want to come back to that. Go ahead, Marilyn.
That guy was open, and he saw him, and I was like, yeah, that is a Mahomes pass. I was like, I was impressed, I gotta say. And now, the dude was open. He was open, and he got it, man.
Yeah.
He got some yards, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
That's good.
Man.
That is good.
I agree with that. He was open.
So what do you say, Lou? What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. He was open on that one.
Okay.
No
Okay, so there's an unwritten rule in the NFL, especially in this era of 2023. Throwing across your shoulder, across your body, is a dangerous thing to do because it can easily be picked off with a more athletic group of defenders. In this case, though, he did throw it to Pringle.
In this case, the way Sam threw it, you would think, I was thinking he was going to throw straight to the right. He didn't. He
No,
drifted it
well,
left,
if
and
he
the guy was open.
if he threw it straight to the right, there's a defender right there. And remember, Logan Thompson is coming across the field trying to catch the ball. I think what it was meant for was Logan and Pringle was there at the same area. I think they designed that so that way if one is tipped, the other one can catch it. But that's another problem because if you run two players in the same area, they will collide and they will fall off. So this is hello, how you doing? This is Daniel Costley. How you doing today?
No, this is Kareem.
How you doing, Creamy? It says Daniel Costley. My bad, man.
Yeah, this forgot the account. That's all.
My bad, man. And I apologize. So we were just talking about the game against the Patriots. Do you recall that play where Sam Howell threw across his body, and the receiver Pringle caught it for the first down? Remember that?
Yeah.
Isn't there a unwritten rule about throwing across your body like that?
Yeah, I mean it happens. Some quarterbacks are able to get away with it. Howell has that kind of arm to kind of do it, but it was like he threw up a 500 ball.
Yes, that is the correct answer I wanted to hear. The 500 ball is a 50-50 ball that allows you can either get it or have a pick six. That's what I'm saying. Gambling like this is good when we win, and it's horrible when we lost when we try to do it. And my position is we did well in that game. Don't get me wrong, folks. The way we won, we battled back. My problem is, what if we had a athletic team like Seattle, like the Eagles? We wouldn't survive in that throwing it like that. We gotta be more careful because now we just gave tape to the Seahawks about what Sam could do, right? Now,
I think he was just throwing under duress. It wasn't a plan. I would think from a quarterback perspective, if he threw it that way, he was expecting someone to be there.
Yes,
it's still not a good.
Yeah, he saw the down.
Not an NFL.
Open.
Yeah, you still don't make that throw. But 9 times out of 10, you don't make that throw.
Correct, and that's the point I was making. Good, hey Kareem, thanks for saying that. So that's mainly why I brought that play up, because it could have went south, but thank goodness it didn't go south. It went to our point. Now here's another play that I want to bring everybody up, and this is another play that had a problem with me, and I was a little upset. And this is when the refs called KG Henry for roughing the passer. This one is ridiculous because he had the football and he was in the ground. Now, Ron Rivera did the presser, and he said that he still need clarification on it. The man had the football in his gut. KG Henry had a sack. KJ Henry had the sack, but they said it was roughing the passer. Roughing the passer is somebody is throwing the football and its release is gone, and then the defender hits the quarterback. There was no roughing the passer, and there's nothing in the books that states.
No, that's a new rule. They've upgraded that rule.
But see,
you can't barely touch the quarterback.
But see, that's ridiculous because now what you're doing is you're catering to the quarterback. So what you're supposed to do? Push him and let him skid across the grass? Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous because you're not sacking him. You're just pushing him. Now pushing him, that's roughing the passer.
They said that he had put, the reason why they called it is because he put all his weight on the quarterback when he landed on him. Get out of here.
But
he didn't pile drive him into the ground.
Right. That's my point. If you look at what they did against the in the Raider game, in the Raider game against the Giants, they sacked the quarterback by throwing him into the ground. In the Dallas Eagles game. They sacked the quarterback and threw him into the ground. There was no roughing the passer. So why is it in this game it's any different than any other game? See, this is the problem I have with the refs. The specification of rules that we have now is too extreme or too lack of understanding. Because if we get any clarification, we won't get any clarification to the end of the game. Like, there was one. Where was it? I think it was the one last year when we were about to beat the Giants, and it was passer interference, but they didn't call it. This year, there was holding on one of our offensive linemen. No, defensive linemen. They were trying to. What was the game against? It was against the Bears. I think it was against the Bears. The Bears was holding. I think Sadiq Charles. No, not Sadiq Charles. Who was it? Was it? I think it was either Chase or Montez. Somebody they were holding. No, Montez. All right, so they were holding Montez. Yeah, Montez Sweats. They were holding Montez, and they threw that touchdown to Moore, and Fuller was trying to pick it off. They were holding Montez around his neck, and there was no call. So I'm like, yo, what?
And no call.
And no call. So I'm thinking, what is going on here? What are we missing? I think everybody here needs to go to referee school and yank the books out of everybody's hand and go, that's not even in the books, because we watch live football 24/7. This is wrong. So
right.
let's go from Kareem all the way to Steve. I need to know what y'all think about this, because it's really bothering me, because going forward, we're probably going to get the same type of calls. Kareem, what do you think, bro?
Well, the league has invested in the quarterback. So that's why they've become so protective of their investment, where they don't want them to get hurt, because they know usually when you're looking at the posters, the quarterbacks are the ones that's on it when they're trying to promote these games.
Yeah.
So I don't like it at all. It makes the game more, and I understand if you're over excessive with things, but that would in itself make you want to be like, I guess in 5 years we'll be playing flag football at Tulane Tech.
Yes, yeah, and that's terrible. Yeah. What you think, Lou?
I hope it doesn't come to that. That would not make much sense in football. No, we don't want to see.
Yeah, because
yeah. But then again,
I agree with Lou.
In the Olympics, hey, why not?
Yeah, I know. I don't. And you know, the Olympics are trying to get the NFL in this year as one of the Olympic-sized football. Maryland, what do you think?
Lord, I hope it don't come to that. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, I'm with y'all. I'm like, y'all hope, no, don't let that come to that. Yeah, they're going to protect, you know, their quarterback, but look at how many times, Razul, that our quarterback, that first time when we had Heineke, before Heineke, it was Wentz.
Yeah.
Okay. How many times did he get sacked?
Oh man, he got punished. He got punished ever since he dropped back. But see, the thing between no, I'm sorry. Let's hear what Steve says, and then I'll give you my take on that. Let's go ahead, Steve.
Okay, but you know what? If you look at some of the tapes of the '80s and stuff, and you would see that power driver that McMahon took, and Lynn Dickey, and even Billy Kilmer took business hit by the Giants. You know, I can understand why they relax some of the, you know, the defense for doing that, because I mean, even one Jaworski guy, he got close and pound through the ground. So you know, you got to protect some of them, because I mean, the quarterback is the team.
Well,
You know,
right.
and just like Jim with the Montana when he took that hit by the Giants,
Well,
and even with Joe Theismann getting tortured by by Lawrence Taylor when he broke his leg,
So-
put him out of football. You know, so I can understand that why they trying to protect the quarterback, and you know, even if you come close to him and try to hurt him. I mean, 'cause back in the day, Buddy Ryan, you know, we got the Buddy bag game for us.
Okay, so
you know,
yeah,
that was horrible. And I've seen it. You know.
no, I understand that. I understand what everybody is saying. I totally agree. My point is that in other games, there was no call of roughing the passer in that magnitude what we got on last Sunday. Because I saw some really good ones where the defender threw the quarterback into the ground and he popped right back up like nothing else happened. So we got punished for doing what everybody else is doing. It's like we're making an example. They making an example out of us of the new rule.
That was a basic tackle. That was a total.
That was the basic sack. Yeah,
The cleanest tackle you could ever have.
that's the definition of a sack right there.
Let's take down and, you know, whip them with their feet. You know, there ain't nothing to say about it. That's it.
And that's why I had to bring this up in the show, because the fact it shows that this league, it has to make an example at what game it is on. But if you look at the Bengals, if you look at the Ravens, if you look at the Browns, none of that was there. None of that was even called. When they got sacked, they bounced up and did their little celebration dance, and the referee raised his hands like, "All right, timeout, Browns. Timeout, Las Vegas." No, there was no roughing the passer. This sort of number drove his weight into the ground. None of that was happening. None.
Well, then, why didn't the coach call for the red flag?
They can't review that. They can't review that. No. The only time you can review calls is when it's football motion. When there's a football motion where you grab the ball or held the ball or is it thrown to you and you make a football motion towards a end zone or to the first down, and they go to the ground and the ball is loose, they can review that, or they can review what is that called? Interception or what have you.
Yeah.
But they can't review a sack, which is crazy because there was
crazy.
there were so many other calls I want to get to, but this is just a 1 hour show. But let's go into the NBA. All right, the in tournament game. To this day I don't understand the logic of the in tournament. It's more like a soccer tournament. But the Wizards, they lost to the Hornets. And I said this to this day, and Kareem and me, we battle on this, but Kareem is a good dude, and I understand he's a Wizards fan, and just like me, and he wants to see the Wizards do well. I don't like Bilal. I don't like DENI. These two individuals on the field, they cost the game too. Now, in this game, I talked to a lot of Wizard fans, folks, a lot of Wizard fans in this thing. They say that Poole is the reason why they lost. I beg to differ. When you have DENI in the paint doing layups, or he's basically dribbling the ball and gets stolen ball and then turnovers, you actually help the losing forward. Yes, he shot a three. Yes, he made a layup. Yes, he passed the ball behind his back. That's great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. My main thing is, you got to do what Poole and Kuzma is doing. 20 plus each night. Not 12 points. Not just the dude in Spurs put up 38 points as a rookie. We got a rookie that scores 12 and sits down. What kind of picture is this? Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. I need some clarification.
That's not good.
Kareem, bro, I'm not calling you out for one thing. I just need you to understand where I'm coming from. Go ahead, man.
No, I mean, Koulibaly is what? He's 17. He's 18.
He's 19 years old, bro.
Right, young buck.
Yeah.
I never looked at him as being like coming in here being an offensive savior and averaging 20. He's more right now. He's better on the defensive end. So they don't start him. He might play 20. I mean, he play like 24 minutes a game. You know, so he comes in and he's pretty efficient. Plus minus is actually positive, which is rare on the team. This team doesn't have a problem with the scoring. They're scoring.
Yeah.
They have a problem with transition defense.
True.
Stopping people from scoring.
True.
They're in the top 10 in scoring offense.
True.
And they're second to last or last in scoring defense. You can't be giving up 140 points a game.
True. But
yeah, Jordan Poole, I never expected Jordan Poole to be a defensive guy.
True.
I never expected Kyle Kuzma to be a defensive guy.
True.
So they just not built for the defensive end. This team is built for collateral draft picks. You talking about Poole might not even be here the whole year.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
Most of these cats might not even be here the whole year. This is all draft and cash capital. That's it.
Okay.
So they can hit the reset. They've already hit the reset button.
Let me say great points. Actually, great points that I wanted you to hit on, and you hit every last one of them, except you forgot about Kuzma, because Kuzma and Poole together are the tandems that everybody wanted to see in the beginning of the season. Gafford as well. Now, even though these three big men are not actually turning around the tide in this game, they're actually contributing. Now, you said something about Bilal. Bilal's 19, raw talent. I get that. Bilal making about 20 minutes a game. Here's what I'm saying. There's another player who's a rookie who's actually averaging at least 21 minutes a game and it's actually lights out. Was 21 points? Yes, there are the guy from Detroit and the guy from the one from the Spurs. Now he's actually he actually balling. My problem is okay. So here's the thing: the plus and minus differential really doesn't have no bearings in this games or in the games right now, because the way that the ins tournament is, it's not based on differential. It's based on talent up front. If you see the talent up front, if you're dunking, if you're blocking, if you stealing the ball, if you passing, making assists in the paint, that's what's making the in-tournament more watchable, not the differentials.
You said about dude from Detroit. I didn't look him up.
Wiseman.
Record right now is 2-8. They're worse than us.
Yeah, it's true, but he's actually making an impact. He's making an impact, though. I'm not saying towards the record. I'm saying he's more making an impact in their offense. Now, in this case, yes, the record is horrible. I'm saying more of the offense-wise, you having more in the paint. Bilal is not averaging 20 points per game. The man is averaging 12 points, just like DENI. DENI's averaged 12 points per game. And most of his pants. Go ahead.
Whoever thought that either one of those guys would be forced.
That's my point.
You talking about from the Cade Cunningham? Is that what you talking about?
Yes.
He's the only one for the Pistons averaging 20.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He's in his second year.
Okay,
they don't have anybody else on the Pistons that's really a scorer. So of course he's going to average 23.
Okay,
that's easy.
Okay,
that's easy work.
True. But see, do you see that that's the type of player we need in this game to make a difference? You have to average. Hold on. You have to average at least 20 or above to actually make a difference and to turn the tide into a W. You have DENI who's 12, Bilal who's 12. Gallinari is averaging what? Maybe 13, 14 points per game. If his threes, if he enters the game, if he stays in there for 20 minutes, If he stays in there 20 minutes, that's our defense. Schmidt, what's his name? Schmidt? I think
Yeah.
Schmidt.
He played like 2 games.
3 games. Schmidt actually made the offense go even faster. That's where our defense needs to be. And then they were clicking all cylinders. Then when he got sat down and Denny came in, it was all chaos. And then when they put Denny down and brought in Bilal, all chaos even more. Bilal got his 12 points and sat down. My thing is all about continuity. We don't have continuity. We just have people that we want on the floor to get their minutes, and then we sit them back down. And that's what I see here. Shoot, we have 2 minutes. I love this. Yo,
my bad. I lost track of time. Didn't call in.
No, you good, man. I love that though. You got to come back on because I love how this went exactly the way everybody wanted to hear it and how they frame it. So we got 73 ratio, folks, and you know how we do. The 7 is confident in your team and winning the game. 3, if you don't have confidence of your team in this game, and this game is against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Commanders, Seattle Seahawks. Let's go around the horn. Let's go with Steve and end with Kareem. Steve, 73 ratio. Who you got?
Commanders.
Score.
28-21.
Whoa, you got confidence right there. That's good. All right, Coach, what you got?
Commanders.
Score. Is you laughing? What you got?
Let's see. I'm like actually 31. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. The 26.
Okay. 5-point differential. Okay. All right, Lou, what you got?
Well,
Go ahead, man. Don't waste no time because I already know what you're going to think. Go ahead.
yeah, Seattle,
What's the score?
35-21.
Wow, Lou, man, you just bring the hammer. I know. All right, Kareem, what you got, bro?
I got no.
My heart is going Commanders. I say 30-21.
Okay. All right. That's a 3. That's a 3 because I know he's a little iffy. And that's how I feel. I got Commanders by 3. My main concern is their Seattle's defense because that's where the bread and butter is. I don't rely on Geno. I want to thank Lou, Steve, Marilyn, Miriam, and Kareem. Kareem light the show up. Kareem is the reigning champion of this week. Hats off to you, bro. For being our champion. And you could be a champion of our week. Next week, come in and have a discussion on sports, who you represent. And don't worry. There's a chance for everybody to be a champion of the week. And you can be that too. You're human first, everything second. So go conquer your dreams because you are conquerors by definition. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Have a great weekend. I would say God bless, be safe, and don't drink too much because you go to work next Monday. All right, so.
Great, guys.
God bless.
All right. God bless
Go
you.
Commanders.
Yo, God bless you.
Veterans
Yeah, go Commanders.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day to everybody.
That's right.
All right, peace.
Amen.
And thanks for you to coming in and entertaining us with your presence. Make sure you call in 512-543-4662 and state your name for the record and what team you represent. I'm out. Peace. God bless.